Remember the magic of the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade? Giant balloons floating down the streets of New York, marking the official start of the holiday season. For generations, Macy's wasn't just a store, it was the heart of American shopping, a cultural icon. But today, that same company is closing hundreds of stores, a shadow of its former self. How did a retail giant that ruled for over a century, a name synonymous with celebration and style, lose its way so dramatically? This is the story of the rise and fall of Macy's. It all began in 1858 with the single dry goods store in New York City founded by Roland Hussey Macy. From these humble beginnings, Macy's grew into a retail empire. It wasn't just about selling products, it was about creating an experience. The brand pioneered concepts that we take for granted today, like the one-price system and in-store Santa Claus appearances. Its flagship store in Herald Square became a global tourist destination, famous for its enchanting Christmas window displays and, of course, the Thanksgiving Day Parade, which started way back in 1924. Throughout the 20th century, Macy's expanded aggressively, merging with other department store chains and cementing its status as America's one-stop shop. For decades, Macy's was untouchable. It was the anchor of the American mall, a sprawling destination where you could find everything from high fashion and cosmetics to furniture and kitchen appliances. Malls were the social hubs of suburban America, and Macy's was their king. Foot traffic was immense, sales were booming, and the company seemed to have an unshakable grip on the nation's shopping habits. If you needed a new suit, a wedding gift, or a back-to-school outfit, Macy's was the first place you went. This was the golden era of the department store, and Macy's was at its absolute peak, a symbol of middle-class prosperity and consumer culture. But then, the world started to change. In the late 90s and early 2000s, a new force emerged, the internet. At first, it was just a curiosity, but then it became a revolution. E-commerce giants, led by Amazon, began offering unparalleled convenience and endless selection at competitive prices. Suddenly, you didn't need to drive to the mall anymore. Simultaneously, consumer tastes shifted. Discount chains like TJ Maxx and Target mastered the art of treasure hunt shopping, offering branded goods at lower prices. The very foundation of Macy's business model, the massive physical department store at the center of a busy mall, started to crumble. People stopped visiting malls, and foot traffic began a steady, irreversible decline. Macy's, with its vast and expensive real estate footprint, was slow to realize the ground was shifting beneath its feet. The problems began piling up, creating a perfect storm. First, there was the real estate problem. Macy's was stuck with hundreds of enormous, expensive-to-maintain stores in declining malls. Even as shoppers vanished, the high rent and massive overhead costs became a financial anchor, dragging the company down. Many of these once thriving locations turned into ghost towns, bleeding money year after year. Then came the identity crisis. Macy's found itself trapped in the dreaded middle market. It wasn't cheap enough to compete with Walmart or Target for bargain hunters, but it wasn't exclusive or luxurious enough to attract high-end shoppers who were flocking to brands like Nordstrom or standalone luxury boutiques. When you try to be everything to everyone, you often end up being nothing special to anyone. Customers had clearer, better options elsewhere, and Macy's lost its unique selling proposition. Compounding this was its failure to adapt to the digital age. While competitors were pouring resources into creating seamless online experiences and sophisticated mobile apps, Macy's digital efforts felt clunky and outdated. Its website was often slow, its app was not user-friendly, and its online inventory management was a mess. They were playing catch-up in a race that Amazon had already won. Online sales grew, but not nearly fast enough to offset the catastrophic losses from their physical stores. To drive traffic, Macy's fell into a dangerous trap: over-reliance on discounts. The store became a sea of red sale signs. This trained customers to never pay full price, eroding brand value and conditioning them to wait for the next promotion. This created a vicious cycle. Constant sales led to razor-thin profit margins, which meant less money to invest in updating stores or improving the customer experience, which in turn made the stores even less appealing. The shopping experience itself became a problem. Many stores felt cluttered, understaffed, and stuck in the past. Younger consumers, raised on Instagram and TikTok, were looking for fresh, modern, and engaging retail environments, something Macy's simply wasn't providing. The decline accelerated rapidly. In recent years, Macy's has announced wave after wave of store closures, with a plan to shut down 150 underperforming locations by 2027. This has been accompanied by shrinking profits, falling stock prices, and widespread layoffs. Competitors have feasted on its market share. Amazon dominates online, Target has captured the cheap chic market, and specialty beauty retailers like Sephora and Ulta have stolen its once lucrative cosmetics business. Investors grew nervous, and the company even faced a takeover bid from groups who saw more value in its real estate than its retail operations. Now, Macy's is fighting for its survival. The company has a new strategy called A Bold New Chapter, which focuses on fixing the fundamentals. The plan involves closing unprofitable stores and investing heavily in the remaining ones to make them more modern and appealing. They are also focusing on their more successful luxury brands, Bloomingdale's and the beauty chain Bluemercury, which cater to a wealthier clientele. They are experimenting with smaller store formats that are less expensive to operate and are better suited for today's shopping habits. They're also trying to rebuild their fashion credibility by launching new or relevant private labels. But the big question remains, is it too little, too late? Can Macy's truly reinvent itself to compete in the 21st century? The story of Macy's is more than just the story of a single company. It represents the end of an era. It is a powerful lesson in the brutal reality of the modern economy. Even the most beloved, iconic brands can fade away if they fail to evolve. For over 150 years, Macy's was a titan of retail, a name woven into the fabric of American life. But in the age of Amazon and instant gratification, nostalgia simply isn't enough to guarantee survival. So what do you think? Can Macy's stage a miraculous comeback? Or are we witnessing the final chapter for this American icon? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching. We're from Boom to Bust, and we uncover the stories behind the world's greatest rises and falls. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more. See you next time.